Whether you hand plucked your bird by hand, dry plucked, or you used a machine, you're gonna end up here. There's kind of no way around it. All right, so I've got a couple breasts in here. They've been in the fridge for actually 2 days. Sometimes I will dispatch, let's see, what will I do? So after eviscerating and butchering a duck, I'll usually put it in the fridge overnight to get the skin extra cold, which makes this way easier because you don't risk ripping the skin. But it's been 2 days. My day yesterday was not convenient for this project, even though it's really just gonna take 5 minutes to do this. So what are we doing? We're doing the fine tuning. Fine tuning being, we're trying to remove any nasty little pin feathers that are stuck in the skin that didn't come out with the plucking machine. And you can see on this breast, so this was a gray bird, so you can see some of that gray pigment in the skin. He's not dirty, he's just a gray guy. Really pretty bird. I've got a bowl of water and I've got a pair of fish boning tweezers. And I'm gonna pluck these out, rinse them off, give it a swish, and then get the rest of them. There are literally, are there 5? I think I see 5. And this is what I'm looking for. I'm looking at this. I wanna take these guys out. They got left behind. I got a camera 2. Camera 2, are we good? Yeah, I think so. Okay, camera 2. So you're gonna take your tweezers, fish boning tweezers, you can get them on Amazon, not an expensive tool, and we're gonna pull them out. Look, that was so easy. There's one, and you can feel them, like if you don't think that if you're new to this and you're not sure what you're looking for, pretty obvious pin feather right there. I'm gonna pull it out. So there's 2 ways you can go. Sometimes pulling in the direction that it grows makes it easy, and then every once in a while you get like a weird one where you go against where it grows and then it pops out. That was like a really weird plasticky feather. Sometimes there's some strange stuff in here. I have 2 more down here. Pull them out, come here you. And that's it. There's 1 left and it's in the skin. I can feel it. It's not super visible, but let's see. There he is, sticking up. And I'll give this guy just a little squeeze to get him to pop up. And then I'm gonna pull him, a little more of a squeeze, because he's under the skin a little bit, and he's out. So what have I got in there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pin feathers. And this is why feather timing is so important. If you get the timing wrong, you're not gonna have 5, you're gonna have like 50 that you're gonna have to wrestle with. Here's our other breast. We'll go do this guy also. So this is ready to be freezer bagged, vacuum bagged, food savored, whatever you want to call it. I pack all these guys up into individuals. We'll get to that next. The breasts are always easier than the legs. The legs always have just a little bit more going on. I don't see anything except for one. There's one little guy right here and one more right there. Other than that, this guy's clean. Again, gray bird, so you can see gray feathers were here. He had some white feathers here. If you can have white feathered birds, you will have a cleaner looking end product. It's all gonna shake out just fine, regardless of the bird's feather coloring. When you get them in the pan and eventually to the plate, you won't see any of this dark coloring. So I got a tricky little guy that doesn't want to come out, but I'm gonna get him. Come here, you. So imagine if I had to do a feather like that a lot of times. That would be no fun. And then this becomes the kind of project that makes you question why the heck you raise Muscovies. So there we go. There's nothing left. You can go through and feel it and make sure you didn't miss anything. And if you do, eventually you're gonna cook these. And if they're coming out of the freezer and you're going to score the skin, because you will, you can go through them again after they're defrosted if you've missed anything. So this leg's in really good shape as far as pin feathers go. We've just got a few down here on the edge that should pop out pretty easy. And you can see when you pull these out, like dark pigmentation that's left in the skin, that's kind of what the plucker, like as it's removing these feathers, it kind of smears some of that pigment that's inside the shaft of the feather into the skin. And that's just how it goes. Let's see, we got one more right here. Yay, this is a quick thing that is not gonna break my mind. If you do get tired of doing this project, put it in the fridge, come back to it later. you know, if you're doing 4, 5, 6 birds and their feathers are not in good condition, you know, give yourself the break you need to come back and do a really good job. It would be a shame to get to this point and give up or let the project beat you, because this is definitely an exercise in patience. So I'm just going around. I generally work in a quadrant with my legs. I'll start in one area and then just work my way over it. So it feels like I'm actually making progress. If you skip around from, you do one here and you do one there, it just feels like you're never improving. There's a big one. Don't have any left. Maybe under here. One more in there. Nope. And I got a little bit of tiny feathers that I missed with the plucker up here at the joint of the leg. I like to get those out because they don't get super crispy up here at the top of the leg with when I confit them. I'll make them look really nice. What's that? Is that something in there? What is that? Nothing. We're good. That's it. There's one more right there. Nope. Piece of debris. With a darker colored bird, this guy was gray, so not as bad as some of the blackbirds that I have. You will get some little teeny micro feathers that get buried under the skin that you're just not going to get. I always do the best I can. Those are the ones that drive me crazy. I wish our male ducks were white colored birds. They're not, but they have names and they are part of like the family, so they're not replaceable. That's what we have. So that's the color skin that we get. You know, some of this darker pigmentation. A lot of the feather coloring is due to the genetics of the male. Oh, what is this? This is a tough little guy. Oh, different grip. So the male duck is more important in color than the female duck. So if you're getting ducklings, get ones that look yellow Muscovy ducklings, or the ones that are that more purpley kind of yellow. They'll end up being grays. The yellower ducklings will end up being more whites. And then the ones that have like the black stripes, they're gonna end up being all black or chocolate or something. So here, this leg's a little bit different. I do have some of these easy to pull out big guys. I'm always happy to deal with those versus like little stuff like that. These are the ones that I want to get them, and sometimes they tell me no. And sometimes they get stuck in the skin. So these ones can frustrate me. And when there's a lot of them, it can really feel like you have a massive, overwhelming project to do here. I'm used to duck breast and duck legs in the restaurant setting, where what we're getting is commercially produced from white-colored ducks that have pristine, beautiful skin. There's never really anything left behind. Maybe sometimes on the legs we'll see traces of some of this kind of stuff, but my idea of what a fine-tuned leg or breast is a little distorted, because I'm expecting them to be perfectly clean, and I would say I get them about 95% perfectly clean most of the time. These guys are in really good shape, even though it was a dark gray Muscovy who does have, you know, that coloring in the skin. There was a time we got Cayuga ducks. There was a farmer who had a dozen Cayuga ducks, and he sent them to us whole, slaughtered with the feathers, with the guts, everything. And after we broke those guys down and we plucked them, we could not get the skin pretty enough to meet like our expectations of what we were used to. And you know, you get them out there into the dining room and you don't see like how dark the skin is after it's cooked, but in the butchering process, it's kind of unnerving. It's like, oh man, nobody's gonna want these. The skin is so different from what everybody's used to. So the United States, I think the aesthetic of what you've got is, there's certain requirements versus in Europe where people are a little bit more willing to eat things that have variation in the aesthetic. All right, so this guy's cleaned up. This one took me longer, right? I was talking a lot more. But he's done, he's ready to go, and we'll get this guy cryovac'd up also. So this is the stuff that drives me crazy. It's like, oh, there's a little one right there. I can get it. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get that one too, and this little guy up here. So take your time. You know, this is also another place where start with just a few ducks, because you're gonna end up here no matter what method you use. And I've done lots of different plucking methods. Some of them were terrible, some of them work great. I like what I'm doing here. Feather timing is the most important part of plucking and making this part of the process as easy as possible, painless as possible. But that's it. So we'll get these packed up and we'll get them in the freezer for some long-term storage. There's one more right here, little teeny thing. I'm never done. Oh wait, there's one more right here. What is that? Okay, cool, I'm done. Okay, I said I'd weigh one. I was guessing in the neighborhood of a pound. I already weighed them. They're 15 ounces or so. Oh, wrong unit. Let's go American. About 15.5 ounces. That is a big, proper duck breast. And the other one, I didn't weigh the other one yet. What do we got here? What do you weigh, dude? Ah, close. So similar in size. This one's just, you know, teeny tiny bit smaller, but those are massive duck breasts. All right, these guys are all labeled with the date, and they're all individually packed in cryovac, so vacuum bag. I like going individuals because it makes it possible to pull them out of the freezer. Well, you know, make sure the bones don't pop the cryovac. I think I might have to reseal this guy. This guy's getting resealed. Looks like I broke the cryovac with the bone. Okay, keep an eye out for that. But I pack them up all individually so I can take them out one at a time. That way, if I'm gonna confit 4 duck legs, easy, I just take out 4 or 6. When you're made the mistake of packing them in packs of 4. Gives me less control over how much I wanna, you know, cook. Same with the breasts, individuals is good. These guys pack up really nice and flat so they don't take up a ton of room in the garage chest freezer. That's it. We took a duck, Muscovy, from outside, and now he's going in the freezer.